I don't know of another American president who started off worse in their first 7 months than Joe Biden has, from a national security standpoint, from a foreign policy standpoint, from an economic standpoint on the domestic front when you consider inflation. Just nothing positive coming out of the Biden administration. And I hope that Joe Biden will mean what he says when he says the buck stops with him, and realize that he's going to have to reflect more of Donald Trump's policies than his new liberal socialist wing of the Democrat Party if we're going to advance the American agenda.
And that's what's so ridiculous when he keeps acting like this was President Trump's plan. He changed the plan. This is not May 1st. By even changing that date, he got rid of any talking point that he could have blamed President Trump. He decided to do it a different way, and yet everybody's running with it. The rhinos are running with it, the never-Trumpers, the media. It's the Biden-Trump. You hear their names linked together when this was nothing to do with President Trump.
You know, anyone that knows Donald Trump, anyone that served with Donald Trump, anyone that has studied Donald Trump knows that he would not have allowed the Taliban anywhere near the capital city in Afghanistan. I mean, the fact that we let some Taliban driving Toyota trucks with rifles and barefooted come in and just totally dismantle everything the United States military had put together from a security standpoint in Kabul in a matter of hours is a disgrace to Joe Biden. You know, he said in his news conference his plan was for the Afghani security forces to secure the perimeter. Well, he should have had a plan B. I mean, everyone has had doubts about the Afghani army. That's why people like me wanted out of Afghanistan. That's why I voted to remove the troops. That's why Donald Trump wanted to remove the troops. But it's up to the commander-in-chief, Joe Biden, to implement a plan to safely get our troops and our allies out of Afghanistan, and he failed miserably.
His only plan was to go on vacation last week. Even when he saw this was going down, he still left. That was abandoning our troops. That was abandoning our allies. And that's why the Taliban knew they could take advantage. If he's just going to go off on vacation, he's an absentee president, if you can even call him that.
He has no fear from the Taliban. And what they're going to do is they're going to try to probably start being a breeding ground for terrorists like they were before the original occupation of Afghanistan. And if Donald Trump were president, I think they would know that they would be hit with airstrikes. They would be hit with drone strikes. They would pay the consequences if they tried to do anything to harm an American citizen or, for that matter, one of our allies. So Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are going to have to reverse course. I mean, it's just a disgrace. It's a sad day for America. We're weaker because of his indecisiveness. It puts us at a greater disadvantage in negotiating trade moving forward with China, and it has great implications beyond Afghanistan. So it's very disappointing. I'm disappointed to see the liberal news media give him a pass and try to blame Trump, because this falls squarely on Joe Biden.
It's so sad because it gives the warmongers the talking point that we should have never left. And the point was we could have left. And now because of what Biden has done, it's just he's leaving damage and destruction and death everywhere. The footage that you see, even the way they cover the footage, the media is not covering the people falling from the airplanes, rushing the airports. If this had ever happened under President Trump, of course it never would have, but they would be running with it. Instead, they're just bringing on the so-called experts while everything burns. And it's so sad to see. Mr. Congressman, thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for wanting to end the endless wars, because there weren't a lot of people in Congress that actually wanted to do that.
That's right. And hopefully America learned a lesson from this.
Absolutely.